Flygon is my favourite Pokemon, so when I found out that it was in the new DLC, I knew I had to make a team with it. Unfortunately, it's awful. Well, not entirely, but there's usually no reason to use it over Garchomp, which is another dragon and ground type Pokemon that is faster, bulkier, and hits harder than Flygon. So if I was going to use Flygon, I had to find something that made it unique. First there's its ability Levitate, which gives it an immunity to ground type attacks. Usually not a huge deal with its current typing, but with Terrestrialization, we can change it into a type which is normally weak to ground type moves to make better use of this immunity. I went with Fire to also protect Flygon from burns. Next I had a look at its move pool, and it turns out Flygon gets a really interesting set of special attacks. But base 80 special attack is just not good enough to take advantage of it, even with choice specs. So I decided to go for a physical support set. I gave it Feint, which is a priority move that breaks Protect, allowing a partner to hit the protected Pokemon, which can really take your opponent off guard. Then I gave it Breaking Swipe and Bulldoze, which are both spread moves that lower the opponent's stats. Breaking Swipe lowers their attack, and Bulldoze lowers their speed. The final move I gave it is First Impression, a very powerful priority attack that not many Pokemon get access to. It has a speed priority of 2, which means it always goes before most other priority attacks. This move's power is balanced because it can only be used on the first turn each time the user enters battle. So if the opponent has a Pokemon which is on low HP, I can switch in Flygon and get an easy KO. I maxed out Flygon's speed with 252 speed EVs and a jolly nature, and then I put the rest of its EVs in bulk and gave it an assault vest item to hold. Since the new DLC has come out, I wanted to use one of the new Pokemon added into the game. I went with Gouging Fire because I think it could be really strong. I gave it 2 stab moves, Flare Blitz and Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, and its signature move Burning Bulwark, which is pretty much just Protect, but it burns anything that makes physical contact with it. I gave it a jolly nature with 116 speed EVs because it gives it just enough speed to outspeed Shen Pao, Fluttermane and Iron Bundle after one Dragon Dance. I gave it a lot of HP investment because if it has a higher max HP, it will lose a smaller percentage of HP from recoil from Flare Blitz. 204 EVs in HP and 116 in special defense is enough to survive a modest 252 special attack, choice specs, Terra Fairy, Moonblast from Fluttermane. Also adding 4 to its defense means it can survive a Mighty Cleat from Iron Boulder if it has 252 EVs in attack with a Life Orb. I'm not sure how popular Iron Boulder is going to be, but I thought I would calc for it anyway. Finally, the remaining EVs went into its attack. Since Incineroar is going to be on every team ever from now on, I gave it the clear amulet to hold so it can't be intimidated. I wanted to add a Pokemon that could help Gouging Fire get a Dragon Dance off, and I also wanted it to have the move Coaching. Scrafty with my choice, with Fake Out to help get a Dragon Dance off, Coaching, Drain Punch and Snarl. The strategy I wanted to use was I would lead with Scrafty and Gouging Fire. Turn 1, Scrafty would use Fake Out and Gouging Fire with Dragon Dance, and turn 2, since Coaching works through Protect, Gouging Fire would use Burning Bulwark and Scrafty would use Coaching, leaving Gouging Fire with +2 attack, +1 defense and +1 speed. Obviously I wouldn't always be able to get the full strategy off, but that was the general idea. I fully invested Scrafty's EVs in its defences and gave it the Poison Terror type to increase its survivability. 252 HP and 84 defense with the defense boosting nature is enough to survive 2 Drain Punches from Iron Hands without terrestrializing, and the rest went into special defense. I needed another heavy hitting Pokemon on the team and decided on Ogerpon Wellspring Mask because its water and grass typing pairs really well with Gouging Fire's fire and dragon typing, offensively and defensively. I gave it its standard moves, which are Ivy Cudgel, Horn Leech, Follow Me and Spiky Shield, and I copied this EV spread from an Ogerpon I used on a team a while ago. I can't quite remember what these EVs do, but it seems to work, so I'm sticking with it. All I remember is the 68 speed lets Ogerpon outspeed Regieleki in Tailwind. Speaking of Tailwind, I added Whimsicott onto the team, with Tailwind for speed control, Encore because it's so useful, especially with Whimsicott's Prankster ability, Sunny Day to activate Gouging Fire's Protosynthesis and power up its Flare Blitz, and finally Moonblast to be able to deal some damage. Giving it the Focus Sash to hold lets me give it a normal 252 special attack and 252 speed EV spread. For the final slot on the team, I knew I needed a strong Steel type Pokemon. I didn't want another Dragon type on the team, since I already had 2, which rules out Archaladon and Goodra. and I needed it to resist fairy type moves since I didn't currently have a fairy resist on the team, which rules out King Gambit, and I didn't want another fire type on the team, which means Heatran is also off the table. This leaves me with 3 options: Metagross, Golden Go, or Iron Crown. I decided against Iron Crown because it excels when in Psychic terrain, which I don't want to add onto the team because 3 of the Pokemon on the team have priority moves which are blocked in Psychic terrain. Deciding between Metagross and Golden Go was difficult, but after trying them both out, I preferred the immediate damage that Metagross provided, bearing in mind that I didn't want to use a choice spec set on Golden Go because I wanted another Pokemon with Protect on the team. This does mean that the majority of the team are physical attackers, so physical walls such as Goodra can become an issue. But it also means that most of the Pokemon on the team can take advantage of Scrafty's coaching. Another downside of having a lot of physical attackers is Intimidate, but I have 2 Pokemon that are immune to Intimidate on the team: Gouging Fire with its Clear Amulet, and Metagross with its ability Clear Body. I maxed out Metagross's attack, gave it a Metal Coat and Terra Steel, so its bullet punches and heavy slams can deal huge amounts of damage. Its last 2 moves are Psychic Fangs and Protect. Here is the rental code for the team. This team did start out being focused on Flygon, but as I was building the team, it became much more focused on Gouging Fire instead. This isn't a bad thing, Flygon still has its uses, but it just means that Gouging Fire feels more like the MVP of this team, and gets brought to a lot more games. Now let's see it in action. I mean, they have quite a few things to beat Gouging Fire, or at least things which Gouging Fire aren't great into, but it's just so strong. I could go for a Whimsicott, because if they lead Tornadus, Urshifu, they're going to try and set up the rain. I can just set up the sun. I think that's a good idea. Flygon in the back. And then what do I need? I don't think Metagross is going to be very good here. Ogon could be good. Scrafty. I think I'll go for an Ogerpon. Just because if I go Flygon, Whimsicott and Scrafty, then it's pretty much just down to Gouging Fire to get all the KOs. Okay. It's not too bad because I'm a Clear Amulet. It could Dragon Pulse my Gouging Fire though. So this is where Scrafty would be good, because I can just fake out the Raging Bolt. Might go for Dragon Dance anyway, because they might think I'm going to Protect. Who knows? Tailwind or Sunny Day first? Sunny Day usually lasts longer, so I might get the Sunny Day up first and then Tailwind next turn. I mean, I might not even need the Tailwind right now anyway. Terra Fairy, okay. Okay, I have just hidden their special attack. That's not great. Yeah, they just went for it. Did live though. If I go for a Burning Bulwark, just in case they protect their Raging Bolt, so I don't get caught out. I'll switch you out into Flygon. Oh yeah, they're just going to Thunderclap. I mean, I could go for Dragon Dance if they're just going to Thunderclap. Then just a Breaking Swipe.
what I should have done actually is switch in Ogerpon. Now they can fake me out, but it's okay, I was going to protect anyway. Burning Bulwark, and I'll switch out into Ogerpon, so I can redirect the Thunderclap away from Gouging Fire. Did they go for it again? They didn't. Does that make physical contact? Yes, it does. So Ogerpon's definitely going to go down here, but yeah, I'll use Follow Me just to get an attack off with Gouging Fire. Actually, no, because they can't Thunderclap me because I'm not using an attacking move. So it wouldn't go down. That's probably going to kill me, but you know. Yeah, maybe getting the sunlight up straight away was quite a bad idea with their Raging Bolts, but clawing our way back a bit. Let's get Flygon on him. Because First Impression should do a decent amount of damage to Urshifu. Rillaboom. Yeah, so we'll go for First Impression. It's not going to KO by a long shot, but it'll just get a good amount of damage on him. Could just go straight for an Ivy Cudgel, or could Terrastallize, because Rillaboom's not going to be doing much damage with this burn anyway, and try and just KO the whatever his name is, Landorus. Okay, that's not ideal though. This should do a lot. It probably won't kill with the Intimidate. Or maybe it will. Let's switch out Flygon again. And get Whimsicott in. I mean, it'll probably die, but you know, it means I can get another First Impression off of Flygon, and it won't be intimidated, so it'll actually do some damage. I might spike his shield because they're probably going to try and fake me out. They didn't fake out, but I'll still do a little bit of chip damage. Oh, so Whimsicott survives. I don't think I need to go for a Tailwind because I'm faster anyway. Ooh, I could Encore Rillaboom into Grassy Glide now that the grassy terrain is gone. And with the burn, he's not going to be doing any damage at all. And then that just leaves me to try and KO this Incineroar. Please KO. Nice. Okay, that still does quite a lot. Okay, crit. There we go. I guess we just chip them down. Slowly whittling him down. Get Flygon in, and I can first impression. So I know the grassy terrain is gone, so Grassy Glide isn't going to be a priority move. But even if grassy terrain was up, the first impression, because it's +2 priority, would go before the Grassy Glide, even if it was a priority move, because it's only +1. There we go. Made a bad move turn 1, but managed to claw it back just about.
Went to school, I got that paper. Mind is always on some paper, dodging all these